Weddings have a way of exaggerating normal things. Normal smiles become radiant, normal tensions become invisible, normal hierarchies become decor. By the time I arrived, the ceremony had already dissolved into that soft, carefully managed celebration phase, glasses clinking, distant laughter. The gentle chaos of relatives pretending everyone has always liked each other. Everything looked beautiful in the deliberate way weddings do: soft lighting, neutral flowers, strategic happiness. I handed my gift to the attendant near the entrance, watching it disappear onto the growing table of rapt expectations, then followed the flow of guests toward the reception hall. That's when I noticed the chair, foldable, metal, slightly uneven, positioned near the kitchen doors, just far enough from the main tables to feel accidental, just close enough to feel intentional. At first, I assumed it was temporary, someone's placeholder, a logistical oversight. But as I scanned the room, a quiet pattern began to emerge. Every table full, every seat occupied, every guest placed. Even my ex, especially my ex. He sat comfortably among mutual acquaintances, posture relaxed, expression polished into that familiar blend of charm and selective memory. It wasn't his presence that unsettled me. It was the symmetry. Everyone had a seat. Everyone had a role, except me. My brother's fiancée appeared beside me with the bright efficiency of someone managing 1,000 micro-crises. "There you are!" A quick air, kiss, a practiced smile. Then, with cheerful casualness, "Oh, that chair is for you." She gestured toward the folding chair. I waited for clarification. It never came. "It's just for plus ones," she added lightly. Plus ones. Such a small phrase, such an elastic one. I nodded slowly, my brain performing its usual social gymnastics. Don't overthink. It's a busy day, seating charts are complicated, it's not personal, but perception resists negotiation. Because across the room sat distant cousins, casual acquaintances, co-workers I'd never met. All seated, all included. I lowered myself into the chair. It wobbled slightly. A minor detail, yet strangely aligned with the moment. From my new vantage point, the wedding transformed. Not hostile, just rearranged. Conversations floated past me rather than toward me. Servers navigated around my isolated position with polite indifference. The kitchen doors swung open and shut beside me, releasing bursts of noise and heat. I had become part of the background logistics. Functional, peripheral, explainable. Humiliation rarely arrives as a dramatic blow. More often, it accumulates through tiny recognitions. The absence of eye contact. The absence of introductions. The strange invisibility of being physically present yet socially displaced. Across the room, my ex laughed at something my brother said. The image carried a quiet, almost surgical precision. History comfortably seated at the table, family positioned by the kitchen. I don't remember deciding, not consciously. There was no surge of anger, no cinematic clarity. Only a slow, unfamiliar sensation, alignment. Something inside me quietly refusing further participation in the arrangement. I stood. The chair creaked softly, unnoticed by nearly everyone. I walked toward the gift table, my footsteps swallowed by music and conversation. My present sat where I'd seen it placed earlier, silver wrapping, careful ribbon. An object that now felt strangely symbolic. Expectation packaged for a space that hadn't been reserved for me. When I turned back toward the exit, my fiancé-in-law's voice cut through the air. "Wait, where are you going?" Not accusatory. Alarmed. Because deviation, not emotion, disrupts social choreography. I paused just long enough, met her gaze, then, very calmly, "Plus one this." The words surprised even me in their softness. No shouting, no theatrics, just a sentence carrying the quiet weight of accumulated awareness. The room shifted. Not dramatically, but perceptibly. Conversation stalled mid-sentence. Heads turned. The fragile ecosystem of wedding politeness trembled under the unfamiliar presence of unscripted behavior. My brother moved first. Of course he did. He had always been quick to react, slower to observe. He crossed the room with visible urgency, suit jacket half-buttoned, smile replaced by something closer to confusion than anger. "What are you doing?" Such a revealing question, because it assumed irrationality rather than cause. I studied his face, the same face I'd grown up beside, shared holidays with, defended in countless trivial conflicts. I think, I said quietly, you already know. Silence expanded between us. Heavy. Unavoidable. Behind him guests pretended not to stare. Beside him his bride stiffened with contained discomfort. Across the room, my ex watched with poorly concealed fascination. No one intervened. Because authority at weddings is fluid, and discomfort is contagious. I can fix this, my brother whispered. Fix, another interesting word. As if dignity were a seating adjustment rather than a structural recognition. I shook my head gently. It's already done. Not bitter, not dramatic, just factual. Because exclusion, once perceived clearly, resists cosmetic repair. Outside the air felt startlingly neutral. No violins, no dramatic rain, just evening light and the distant hum of celebration continuing without interruption. My phone buzzed minutes later. My brother's name. Then again. I didn't answer. Not out of punishment, but because something far quieter had settled into place. The understanding that dignity rarely requires confrontation. Sometimes it only requires departure, and that certain realizations don't end relationships loudly. They simply redefine them silently.